All right, so here's the goal of what I want to do. I want to document, and this is like, to look back on it and kind of just for us, to document our company from going from around $100,000 a month, which is kind of where we're at, to getting to the point where we're doing $500,000 a month or $500,000 a month in revenue. So that's going to be, we have a map and how we want to get there. We have obviously, like things we want to spend. Obviously there's like marketing expense, employees that we need, things like that, how many deals we need. And so the goal is hopefully within the next 1 to 2 years, get to the point where we're doing about $500,000 a month or $6 million a year. Right now, the goal, we're trying to aim to do around $2 million this year. We're sitting at around 100K a month, which is not going to get us there. That's only 1.2 million. So we're sitting at around 100K a month right now. Obviously, we want to get to the point where we're doing $500,000 a month. With that, there's a lot of things we need. We need a lot more people. We need good talent. We need to spend a lot more on marketing, and we just need to get to the point where we're consistent with like our systems and processes. And so we're in the season now where obviously we're consistent enough. We're doing 100K a month. That comes to around 3 to 5 deals that are closed each month. But to get to the next level, to get to the point where you're doing obviously $500,000 a month, there's a lot of things that you need that we don't have. You need to have really, really, really dialed systems and processes for every position. So that's gonna be something that we're continuing to work on, and it'll just be cool to like document it, to see like the lessons we learn. But I know we can do it. There's obviously people in this industry, specifically real estate investing, right? Flipping, wholesaling, stuff like that are doing more than that. So our goal is to get to that point where we can do, around that in 1 to 2 years. And then, lessons and things we learn along the way. Okay, first stop is looking at one of these houses we have listed right now. This one's been listed for a while and we still haven't sold it. So there's a couple things that we did wrong. It's been listed for like 2 months now, which granted it was slow time. It was like December and something like that, but we didn't do enough rehab. It wasn't high end enough for the price point. Price point's like over $600,000. So we needed to like do some better finishes and fix things up a little bit better. So here's the master up here, come through here, closet. I mean, okay. And then here is the bathroom. So finishes here are super mid. We didn't really do anything. Put some new vanities in, new toilet, but like this like jacuzzi tub's old as dirt. Shower didn't get redone. It's fine. It's just when you're trying to sell a $600,000+ home in slow season, like you can't have 2010 vibes. So like when you're flipping, it's like the little things. The little things go a long way. So like the last 10% of the flip, details, finishes, things like that. Like that's what sells a property. So we messed up here. We've messed up on a few of them now, but that's just some learning lessons. The reason that I came to take a look today was because apparently there's a few things that need to be touched up. And something I think messed up the roof in the garage, so we had to get that fixed. I spend most of my time looking for new deals, so I don't really, once a project's done, I don't really spend a whole lot of time going to it. If anything bad happens, I come take a look. Now that we're done with that, I mean, there's not a whole lot I can do now. We're just gonna fix it. I already put enough money into this property, so hopefully it'll sell, we'll get rid of it, but I just wanna come take a look at it. So numbers wise, we bought it for $432. Right now we're looking at selling it at like, I don't know, $620, $615. When it's all said and done with that, we'll probably make $40,000. Not good, not good when you buy a big enough property like this. $40,000 is a lot of money, but when you have a $600,000 house, I mean, let's say it drops 10%, well then we're losing 20 grand. Here's the house in all of its glory. I mean, it's a nice house, big house, really good neighborhood. But it's a thorn in my side right now, so I need to get it sold so we can get some money back and so that I can sleep at night. Two things that I'd like to have. Not super impressed. I mean, it's our own fault. We bought it too high and we bought it at a bad time, so it just needs to be taken care of, but you're gonna have some that aren't as good as others. So I need to stop by the office. So we have an office here in Lake Mary. It's kind of funny because on both sides, there's a school. And then on the other side, that way, there's a school as well. So we got a bunch of kids constantly screaming and stuff like that. And we're on the phones all the time. So kind of oxymoronic, but this is where we do a lot of the work. People on the phones constantly. It's super echoey in here and we do not have near enough furniture and stuff like that. So that's actually on the to-do list, is to get this place like, it's been to do this for like 6 months, but to get this place like really decked out with like furniture, soundproof it, things of that nature. So the reason that we chose Lake Mary is because I live in Orlando, closer to downtown Orlando, and my business partner lives in New Smyrna. So he's got to drive like 45 minutes. I got to drive like 20, 25. We were gonna go in Winter Park, which is a little bit closer. It's a little bit nicer of a spot, but we settled on Lake Mary Boulevard. So we're at one of our properties right now that we just bought here in Orlando. We bought this property for $40,000 and it's gonna need more than that in repairs. It's gonna need like $75,000. So it needs a lot of love. It's really small. Guy who lived here previously, he was a little interesting. He spray painted a lot of this. We just had these cleaned. He spray painted all the windows, blacked them out. But the big thing with this house, let's see if it's open. Okay, it's not. So the big thing, we hit a key under here actually. It has foundation issues. So this house, all the floors are messed up. It was a flipper took it 2 years ago and sold it to the guy for like $150,000 after they flipped it, but they never fixed any of the issues. So right when you come in, we already have a bunch of foundation issues. We're gonna have to start fresh. All this is gonna be completely redone. Foundation, all new floors, make sure all of that's level. But that's gonna be $21,000 and we're waiting for Orlando to give us our permits for the property. So you come in, this is the quote unquote, I guess you wanna call this a master. It's a small house. I mean, this is like an 850, 900 square foot house. Guy who lived here was an interesting fella. There was actually a sign on the door when we came the other day and the cops were looking for him. So they thought he still lived here, but he obviously doesn't. Bathroom is interesting. It's not terrible actually. Redo this. And then there's 2 more rooms back here. And in order for us to consistently stay, doing around 6 figures a month, we got to be having 3 to 5 of these. Sometimes we wholesale them, sometimes we flip them. It really depends. This one actually a realtor brought to me. She said that he just wanted to sell and get rid of it. And so he did. It needs a lot of work. We're gonna put around $75,000 into it. We bought it for $40,000 and hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll sell it for like $185,000, $200,000. So after it's all said and done, hopefully we make around $60,000-ish. I think that's probably pretty safe. But the timeline on these take a while. I mean, we've already owned this property for 3 weeks. So just because, you're flipping, you're like, oh yeah, you're making a lot of money, but it's like, it may take 5 months. So in order to have a consistent pipeline, you gotta have consistent deals coming in and out. So that's a big thing as well. But if you look at the area around here, I mean, it's not the best, if we're being honest. We parked over there to kind of walk over, but it's gotten like this interesting lot. There's a commercial building across the way. There's a park down there. It's not bad, but here in Orlando, the median house price is like $400,000. So if we can deliver a good quality product for $200K or less, I have no doubts that will move pretty easily. And so that's like a big thing that we're trying to focus on right now. A lot of our deals, we try to keep them cheaper, under median house price or below, but we're doing a lot more wholesales right now. You get a contract on a house, you sell it to another investor, you make the delta. Right now, I mean, we still have like 12 properties that we're trying to flip. I was not as dialed in on flipping as I thought I was. So we're trying to go back to the basics, get really good, so that we can maybe consistently do maybe 2 flips a month and then try to get to like 6 to 8 wholesales a month to get, a couple $100K a month going. So that's where we're at right now. This is an example of one that we buy. Ideally, we're gonna make $60,000, so we'll be all in like 110. And if you make 60 off that, that's a win. So that's an example of what we have going on right now. All right, so like I said, the goal of what I wanna do is I wanna start documenting like on a weekly basis where we're at, like the problems we're facing, the things we're learning as we're trying to get to, $500,000 a month. There'll be a lot of lessons that I learn, a lot of things that I wish I wouldn't have done, a lot of mistakes to be made. The goal is to have something to kind of follow along with and kind of see the progression and kind of just document the journey, because I know we'll get there. It's just, here's the lessons, here's what we've done to get to this point, and then kind of following along to hopefully maybe add some value and learn something. So that's the plan with what we have going on. Hopefully it'll be of value to you. So subscribe, follow along if you'd like, and yeah, see you in the next video.